Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Buckle up. Get ready for takeoff. Today we're flying the territory of sub 5 men. Attractiveness. So, I did a live stream presentation, and that's our destination today is, do attractive people have more opportunity? So we're going to talk today about sub 5 men specifically. Even Hollywood has this idea of a sub 5 man versus a normie or a Chad. Even Hollywood just adds to it. I did a live stream event on a show called The Booth at the End. And I talked about two characters, James and Willem. And so this is my hard copy edition. I know I already covered this in a live stream, but I wanted to do this hard copy. So where do I get started? Okay, so there's this TV show called The Booth at the End. Now James walks in. James is wearing a nice suit. He's mildly attractive, kind of a Clark Kent sort of way. He's not a Chad. He's not a 10. I'd say he's probably about a 7.5. So then you had Willem. And I did my best to create a backstory for them on the live stream. So I'm going to do that again this time. And I'm going to show you. You're seeing James on the screen. So we're going to talk about James first, then we're going to go to Willem. So what I'm going to do, because Willem he's a sub 5 man. Even Hollywood portrayed him that way. Even in the Superman theme, Lex Luthor is the villain, right? He's bald. But Captain Picard's bald. So what? But I'm just saying, even Hollywood kind of vilifies sub 5 men. But in the Superman, Michael Rosenbaum, who was on Smallville, he wasn't exactly an ugly duckling. He was handsome. Not all the Lex Luthors are ugly looking. I'm just saying. But in The Booth at the End, they definitely portrayed a sub 5 man as someone you couldn't trust. Uneducated, a bad guy all the way around, while the nice dressed, handsome young guy, trustworthy. Even Hollywood added to, in this series called The Booth at the End, added to it. Okay, so what you're seeing on the screen is James. James is in his early 30s. He has a wife and 2 children, a young boy and girl. And on the show, he comes in to bargain with the man. So, okay, his son has leukemia and is currently hospitalized. Okay, so we're telling the story of James, what's going on with James, why he came to see the man. So, in order to save his son, he had to select and murder a little girl. Now, this goes against everything James believes in. James probably went to... Well, we're going to create a backstory for James. But first, we're going to tell you why James came in to see the man, what was his motive. And once chosen, he cannot pick another child. The man tasked another client, Willem, to protect the child. And Elizabeth is the child's name. Eventually, the two men become aware of each other and their conflicting tasks. And this ultimately results in Willem kidnapping Elizabeth to keep her safe from James. Because James, yeah, he did try to run the girl over, but all throughout it, James is really wrestling with the whole thing. His thoughts were always on my wife and kid. What will my wife think of me? What will my son think of me? My son has leukemia. I'm just trying to save my son's life. So, James's thoughts were not on James. James's thoughts were on his wife and family all throughout. And he wrestled with all of it, debating right and wrong. So James is having a problem with the whole thing. But he loves his wife. He loves his son. And Willem, different. So we're here to talk about Sub 5 Men. So in the series, the booth at the end, James is supposed to see the man. But this video is focused on what kind of backstory did James have. Now, James does do the right thing in the end. When James begins tracking Willem in order to find the girl, Willem attacks James in his home. Willem tracks James down. Willem tries to attack James, and James ends up killing Willem in self-defense. So Willem is willing to kill, lie, cheat, steal, kidnap a little girl. Willem. Yes, Willem, the Sub 5 man. See, Hollywood even portrays the Sub 5 man as being bad, creepy. James, who's kind of a normie, like I said, Clark Kent, handsome, well-dressed, good education. That guy's cool. That guy's okay. Absolutely. So, here's the backstory on James. Now let's pretend for a moment that James wasn't born to normal circumstances. Let's say James started less than normal, less than fortunate. Let's say James is born to a poor family. Let's say his father is an alcoholic. So maybe James, as a child, decided, I don't want to live this way. Maybe James grew up in a trailer court. Let's just add to it. Him and his family are living in a little house trailer in some trailer court, thus calling James trailer trash. Right? This is James. Why am I giving James a bad backstory? Because sometimes being born poor or less than fortunate moves people. It drives people to be successful. Shark Tank's Robert Herjavec was born in Croatia. Dirt floors, no bathroom. His father was jailed several times for questioning the government. He became a large success. He was driven. Poverty drove him to success. Oprah Winfrey, poverty. Poverty drove her to success. She was so driven, so motivated. Shark Tank's Damon John, poverty. Shark Tank's Barbara Corcoran, she was a waitress, so she wasn't born wealthy either. Now, I know Mark Cuban was born middle class. I think Mr. Wonderful was born middle class. Let's see, who else? But I don't know. I'm just saying that sometimes poverty can drive people to succeed. Laura Grenier, I don't know her backstory, but we're creating one for James. So let's say James is born to less than fortunate circumstances. So James decides early on, as in elementary school, he doesn't like being called trailer trash. He says, I gotta get out of here. The only way to get out is to hopefully get a scholarship to college. He's going to have to succeed in school. So he's driven to succeed. He's so driven, so motivated, because he can't stand the other kids teasing him, laughing at him, calling him trailer trash. So James decides, fuck this. I want out. I want out of here. I want a better life. So he's driven. He gets very active in school, despite his classmates teasing him. Doesn't stop him from joining the band, playing sports, basketball, football. James doesn't come across as the athletic type, but that doesn't mean he didn't try. He didn't try to succeed at sports. He didn't try to at least do something in school. He looks motivated, driven, so he can get a scholarship to college and get out of the trailer court, get out of that life. I'm just saying, sometimes poverty motivates people. Maybe James was motivated. So, and now let's go to Willem, the sub-5 man. So James chose hard work, study, go to college, study, get a decent job, get married, have children, and finally have the life he worked so hard to obtain. It wasn't handed to him. James, he looks handsome probably because he's got to take care of himself. He's got to hit the gym, keep his hair trimmed. He looks put together, but he doesn't look like he was born privileged. I'd say he was motivated. Now let's go to Willem. Willem is the guy that was supposed to protect Elizabeth from James. Willem ends up kidnapping Elizabeth, trying to murder James. So what now? Willem is the sub-5 man. Even this TV show portrays the sub-5 man as being, well, he's kind of creepy, don't you think? So even this show solidifies our idea of a sub-5 person. It does. And this TV show is probably not the only one. It's like good-looking guys get the best roles in Hollywood. That's true. Sub-5 men can still succeed. I mean, I've seen many of them succeed, even in Hollywood. Michael J. Fox, 5'4", but he was handsome. He was not exactly an ugly duckling. I've seen plenty of short guys make it in the world, but they weren't ugly. They were handsome. They were well kept. They wore nice clothes. They took care of themselves, and they was able to overcome their height thing. Height has nothing to do with attractiveness. It really doesn't. It's how well kept you look. You can be tall and still be ugly as can be. You can be 6'2", 6'3", and still be a sub-5 guy. I'm just throwing that out there. I've seen some pretty tall, ugly guys. Wasn't there this one? He was kind of 6'1", 6'2". He was an incel. Kind of had hair. He had a beard. He worked in an airport. And I think he took his life. He made some manifesto, and I think he self-delete, I think. So, anyway, Willem, let's give Willem a backstory. Let's say Willem was born to normal circumstances. He had a loving mother and father. Willem decided to choose the path of least resistance. Even though he had good parents, they did their best to raise him right. He was born to, I say, middle class. Just middle class. Not upper middle class, just middle class. So he had opportunity in the beginning as a child. He may not have always been a sub-5. He may have been a pretty cute kid, and then as he got older, he gained weight. He just didn't take care of himself. So somewhere in his childhood, Willem decided to be lazy. He's not going to go out for sports, not going to join the band, DECA, or any other organization in elementary, middle school, or high school. Willem decides he doesn't do his homework. He watches 3 hours of TV a day. He decides to do as little as possible. Takes the easy path. Like I said, James chose the narrow path. Willem chose the easy path. Even though Willem was born to decent circumstances, it was available to him, he didn't take it. Willem's the type to get C's, D's, and F's. By the time he hit high school, barely graduated, probably near the bottom of his class. His self-confidence just declined over the years because he took the easy path. Watched TV, played video games, whatever he was doing, while James is working his ass off. Willem was just laying around doing not much of anything. Then his confidence dwindled and dwindled and dwindled to almost none. Willem can't date good-looking girls. He doesn't think a wife and a family, that he is not going to get the opportunities that James is going to get. James worked hard to get to where he's at. James is born to less than normal circumstances, and he was driven. Willem wasn't driven. He had no drive, no ambition. James did. I'm just making up a backstory. Now, I could give James a good backstory, but I decided to give him less than normal, because what if Willem was born to normal circumstances? Willem made his life choices. I'm not going to join the Cub Scouts. I'm just going to watch TV. Cheat on my test, just enough to pass and get a passing grade in school. Then he wonders why life sucks for him. It's not that he feels entitled, he just has no confidence because he just breezed his way through. He hasn't accomplished anything in life. James has. Every time James makes an accomplishment, his confidence goes up and up and up. Willem, no. Nothing. So this is the life of a sub-5 man. So a lot of sub-5 men, if they don't take care of themselves, dress better, hit the gym, do everything they can to change their circumstances, learn a skill, they're going to stay sub-5 men. They just will. They're never going to achieve anything. Confidence comes through achievement. When I think of my dad and all his accomplishments, all his trophies, he had a wife and 3 kids. And all the buildings out here at the family estate were built with his 2 hands. And 2 strapping boys to help him. Free labor. We were cheap. My brother and I were cheap labor. But he built the house he wanted. And all the other buildings were built by him. And so, then he had us 3 kids. That's an accomplishment. Someone once asked me what the most important achievement I ever made in life. I said, being married to the most beautiful woman in the world. Being married to my late wife, Nicole, is my greatest accomplishment. Greater than anything else I could have done in my life. To me, being a good husband was the best thing I could have ever done. Now, we couldn't have children. If we did, I could say being a husband and a father is the most important thing you can do with your life. More important than college, career, athletic achievements, or anything else. Willem chose to be lazy. Then as the years went by, jelly donuts. He wasn't really that overweight on the show, but you could tell they dressed him down, dressed James up. And so Willem definitely, and a lot of sub-5 guys, most of them will never see opportunity come to them. If they look sub-5, they look creepy, time to change that. You look at Michael J. Fox, he changed that. You gotta change people's perception. Stop dressing like a slob. If you're sub-5, stop looking. I believe in looks maxing. Geomaxing, no. Looks maxing, yes. Do looks matter in this society? Hell yeah. Start dressing better. Start making little accomplishments. You accomplish one goal, you have confidence. Then you accomplish the next goal, you have more confidence. You can't fake self-confidence. You either have it or you don't. We're up to 20 minutes. And what else can I say about sub 5 men? So, the sub 5 man, if you don't change what you're doing, girls are never going to talk to you. You're invisible to them. I see sub 5 men every day. I was at this restaurant not very long ago, and this guy came in, and definitely a sub 5 guy. Could tell by looking at the way he's dressed, his body language. I mean, a lot of guys will never. Then the other guy came in, and he's at least 6 feet, good looking. I mean, I'm not into guys, but I'm just saying he was not an ugly duckling. He was well dressed, clean clothes. And who's the girl going to date? The guy that reads the comic books, or the guy that's reading Nietzsche? I want you to think about that for a second. Women tend to choose the intellectual man. Yeah, they go for Chad, but sometimes, and you look at James here. James is more of a Clark Kent. He's definitely not a big hunk like this Superman actor. You seen the new Superman movie? Even in the movie Superman, the guy who plays Superman, good looking. I mean, good looking guy, completely. The guy who plays Lex, skinny little runt. He may be rich, but so even the movies portray sub 5 men as evil and bad, and it's not just sub 5 men, but sub 5 women. Look at the Brothers Grimm and their fairy tales. The evil stepmom, stepsisters. The Wicked Witch is always portrayed as ugly, while Cinderella is portrayed as, well, supposedly average, and then she becomes beautiful. Her stepsisters are, well, less than attractive. They're portrayed as ugly. Yeah, the Brothers Grimm. Read the Brothers Grimm. Even in their fairy tales, ugly is seen as evil and bad, while attractive people are seen as good. Prince Charming, Cinderella, Snow White. Come on. Why are wicked witches always portrayed as ugly? Even in The Wizard of Oz. The good witch was beautiful, right? The bad witch was ugly and green. I'm just pointing that out there. Hollywood does this all the time. The hero's got to be good looking. The villain's got to be less than attractive. Usually a sub 5 guy who can't get laid. No, it's true. Hollywood does this a lot. Because that's what sells. They can't put a sub 5 man in the lead role. And the hunk as the villain. That wouldn't work. Well, maybe it could. Then the villain would become the hero because, well, but yeah, sub 5 guys just have it rough. Job opportunities will never come to them. They'll end up stocking shelves at Walmart their entire life. They'll never be the Walmart manager. They'll end up being a whopper flopper if they're lucky. The school janitor. Willem was a school janitor. Tells you something about his education. He didn't study. So he got left out. But Willem chose to get left out. So, sub 5 men, I hate to say it, for the most part, unless they do something to change the looks max, they have no hope. They're going to have to looks max. They're going to have to get rid of that creepy image. If you look creepy, get rid of that look. Ditch the tattoos if you got them. Ditch them. Put on some better threads. Cut your hair. You got to do whatever it takes to look better. At least be a normie. You can hit the gym, but if you're a sub 5 guy, I mean, hitting the gym does help. But It's just difficult because sub 5, I see sub 5 guys and they get pushed around. I mean, who's going to get the raise? Who's going to get the income opportunity? Who's going to get the business opportunity? Income opportunities come to good-looking guys and women. So if you're at least my height, maybe 5'9", 5'10", you know, I'm a normie. I'm not a Chad, I'm a normie. So, normies will at least get approached. But the guys who are 7 and above, or 8, they get approached all the time for income opportunities. Have I got an opportunity for you? They have more opportunities to make money. They can walk into, say, any employer because he's good looking, kind of Chad looking, built, kind of a Superman type, Clark Kent. You know what I'm saying? Buffed and tall, full set of hair. Yeah, he's going to get opportunities that the little runt is never going to see. The little runt, the little sub 5 guy gets pushed around. Here comes this newbie. He just got hired. He gets pushed up the ladder because of his looks. The girls talk to him, flirt with him. But the sub 5 guy, girls don't even acknowledge him. If he tried talking to a girl, oh my God, get away from me, you creep. They'll report him to HR and he's fired. Because he creeped the girl out. No, it's a real thing. Sub 5 men really have it rough, but they can escape all that. I've seen short guys kick ass. I've watched it happen. I've seen even sub 5. I just was on Facebook today. A sub 5 man got married to a beautiful girl. I just mentioned the other day how I see good looking women with ugly dudes. This ugly dude did land a good looking girl. But he wasn't dressed like a slob. He was just like James. Well dressed, put together. He's probably a professional on some level. He's got some skill set. Yeah, he's overweight, but he's compensated for it. You know what I'm saying? And inner beauty is still very important. Outer beauty just gets your foot in the door. But that's what you want to accomplish. You want to get your foot in that door. Otherwise, I mean, I see it all the time. Sub 5 men get pushed around. I watch it happen. I know of a sub 5 guy whose wife is getting ready to leave him. Because he disses me and disrespects me, I'm not going to say anything to him. I'm just going to sit back and watch it happen. I'm going to act as surprised as everybody else. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't see that coming. Yes, I did. I knew about it a couple of months before it happened. Because she told me she was going to. Yeah. I knew about it before he did. I just decided it's none of my business. Staying out of it. Gonna sit back and watch it happen. And enjoy. I don't care if I've seemed like an asshole saying that, but I can't say anything. That's interfering. Kind of like the Prime Directive on Star Trek. Non-interference. Besides, the guy disses me all the time. I don't care for him. He don't care for me. So you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to interfere. I'm not going to say a word. I haven't said anything yet. But she more or less has told me she's going to leave him. Yeah. Yeah. This girl's losing weight. She's growing her hair out. She wants a better life, and she's going to leave him behind. The problem is this guy is definitely sub 5, sub 4. He will never recover from it. There's no way. If she leaves him, he's done. 10 years from now, yeah, he'll be the bum on the street. It's just the way it is. Do looks matter? Hell yeah. Right now, we're concentrating on the men. We're not talking about women yet. We're just talking about the sub 5 men. And I see them get pushed around all the time. Will there be an incel revolution? No. They don't have it in them. They don't. And the Chads will always win because they're just better looking. They'll get hired on and make more money. Get more opportunity because of their looks. Now, I'm no Chad. I'm probably a 6 on the look scale, if that much. See? So we're up to 30 minutes there, and I want to thank you for coming along. I don't want to drag this video out any longer than I need to. I was just trying to give my thoughts on Willem, the sub-5 guy from the booth at the end. Because even in that show, you got to think, I had to invent a backstory for him, better than the one I created for James, because I want to show that Willem made the choices he made. He had opportunity in front of him, and he passed it up. And now, he doesn't get opportunity. He doesn't. But James was born to less than fortunate circumstances, and he was driven to get out of that life. He was driven to succeed. He was motivated. He had ambition. He decided, I don't want to live this way. So, that's my take. I don't know if I'll send this to Wheat Waffles or Millennial Steam. Those are two channels that talk about, well, Wheat Waffles talks about sub-5 men. Millennial Steam is a good channel, and get a shout out to Millennial Steam. He talks about the minimum wage worker, living on minimum wage. So this would be a good topic for Millennial Steve. See, hear his approach on Willem and James, and why James will have more opportunity than Willem. Why? Because he's better dressed. He's got a wife and 2 kids. He's got a good education. Yeah, James is going to have way more opportunity than Willem will ever see. While society snubs their nose at Willem, they shake hands with James. They'll give James more opportunity. It's kind of like the Matthew effect. To those who have, much will be given. To those who have not, much will be taken. That's in the Bible. It's in the book of Matthew. That's why they call it the Matthew effect. You can look it up. Yeah, it's in the Bible. You can look it up. The New Testament. So it's not just the law of attraction going on here. It's just a written law that God put in place. That's just the way it is. You can't fight it. It's just there it is. I mean, it's just there. James worked his ass off. Kind of like if I want to grow this channel, I'm going to have to work my ass off again. I'm going to have to put out, despite my, I'm working over 40 hours this week, so I got to come up with ideas for videos. This one came, even though I did a live stream on this topic, this is hard copy. I'm going to have to end it before I rattle on. Because I'm really not following a script on this one. That's why I'm rambling. The only thing I'm following is an outline in front of me about the character of James. I got it from Wikipedia. It's describing the character of James. I didn't go into the character of Willem too much. It's that Willem was just... I just want to give a backstory. I had to invent it. So, I could have given James better backstory. But I decided, no, Willem did this to himself. Because a lot of times, a lot of your sub-5 men do it to themselves. They can get out of being sub-5. They sure can. Start dressing better. Groom yourself. Tuck your shirt in. Oh my God. I'm not saying you have to look like Clark Kent, but you look at who's getting ahead You want to imitate what you see. Monkey see, monkey do. Well, Chad's getting it just because he's good looking. Well, maybe Chad dresses a little bit better than you do. Maybe you're wearing pajamas. A lot of guys are doing that. And not only the women were bad at this. No, I'm seeing some guys do the same thing. They just don't give a shit. But Chads do care about how they look. That's why they're Chads. That's why they get ahead. That's why they have more opportunity. That's why girls talk to them. Even guys who are 6 on the look scale can still get girls to talk to them by the way they're dressed, the way they're put together. Brush your teeth. Yeah, it helps to have all your teeth too. So, yeah, I'm privileged in that area. It's not that I'm privileged in that area. It's just that we've got some good dentists in the area. And dental work is not hard to get. I mean, it's not that expensive. Dentists compete for your dollar, so it's not hard to a couple $100 go to a dentist and done. Bada boom, get my teeth cleaned every once in a while. Once every 6 months, go in, doop doop, clean your teeth. How hard is that? We're talking deep clean at the dentist, right? A couple $100. If you it's called preventive care. You'll spend more than that going to the drive-through windows. Just saying. Oh, I mean over time. But if you're a sub 5 guy, you can definitely change it. And looks maxing is the way to go. Geomaxing, no. If you can't solve your situation, solve your problems here, where you're at, you're not going to solve them going somewhere else. You got to figure it out where you're at and conquer it. So, and I know Wheat Waffles talks about this a lot. So, he's an expert on this looks maxing sub 5 guys. He's got a lot of videos about this, and he's well studied on this. But I think there's a correlation between good looks and financial success and ugliness and poverty. There is a correlation here. Ugly dudes tend to sit around, eat jelly donuts, get fat. They don't improve themselves in any way. And they just they get in this cycle and they spiral down, down, down. They don't go out and do anything. Do something. Get out of the house. Like we just had a county fair. Go to the fair. We had a rodeo. Go see the fireworks. I did all that. I even went to my school reunion. And that's on my channel. Practice what you preach. No one can accuse me of being a hypocrite. Anyway, this video is going on way too long. Because I'm trying to think what else I can say. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I feel like, because I really enjoy making videos. And I just wanted to make this video and get it out there. And because for me, it's a sense of accomplishment. If I just sit around and if I don't make a video, I'm not accomplishing anything. At my age, making videos gives me this sense of accomplishment and confidence that I need. I feel like I've achieved something. Because I'm almost 60, so it's a little different now. But yeah, sub 5 guys, I see them every day. Girls don't. They just don't. And they won't. Unless they change it. I've seen short guys, sub 5 guys become 6s and 7s at least. And they do change things. You got to change the way you dress, cut your hair, get rid of some tattoos if you have to. Or at least cover them up. You know, You can't look like a creep. If you look creepy, you gotta get rid of that. You gotta... I'm all for looks maxing. So if you want to accomplish what Chad is doing, you gotta be Chad. What is Chad doing that you're not doing? That's all I get. What more advice can I give you that's free? Didn't charge you $29.95 or $500 for a course on how to pick up women. Oh, I've seen that in the manosphere. That's what they do. I'm not trying to sell you a book, sell you a course. Not yet, anyways. Well, with AI coming, it's kind of hard to do anymore. Well, it's 40 minutes, and I think I said all I could about Willem. Don't become Willem. Become James. James is the guy you want to be. So if you're Willem, you need to transform into James. Because Willem and James are about the same height. I think Willem might be a little taller than James. I'm not sure. They look like they're the same height, though. So, it's up to you to make the changes that you need to make. "41 minutes. Oh, God, jeez. I'm going to have to end this video. I really am. I don't know what else to say. I really don't. I'm just enjoying myself. I'm not trying to be professional. What was that tagline that ChatGPT gave me? It created a tagline. Ah, here it is. ChatGPT wrote this tagline. Tell me if you like it. You're watching The Hangar, where facts meet flavor. Because I do food reviews, that's why it said that. Because I do on occasion. Facts beat flavor. You like it? All credit goes to ChatGPT. It created the tagline. Now all I gotta do is get ChatGPT to help me get more views and more subscribers and help me build this channel. It's not like it's a genie can just overnight give me 1,000 views on this video. It's not likely to happen. If it does, I'd be shocked. Like, okay, ChatGPT, what did you do? Well, because it's connected to everything. It knows my channel name, so it's connected to my YouTube channel. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming on board. And if I don't end this video, I'm going to ramble on. Oh my God, Jeremiah's rambling again. Sometimes people come here just to hear me ramble. Because an AI video would never ramble like I do. And this is, like I said, made for sub 5 men. If you're tired of being pushed around, looks maxing is what I believe in, then change your appearance. Whatever Chad is doing, you look at the Chads that you claim are Chads. Whatever they're doing, do it. You don't have to be tall. I see short guys kick ass all the time. So height has nothing to do with being a sub 5 guy. Height is irrelevant. Trust me, I've seen short guys do some ass kicking. I've watched them do it. I had one guy in my church, he used to sell cars for Toyota. He's got a beautiful wife and 2 beautiful kids. Now he's a missionary. He's barely 5'3", 5'4". Didn't stop him. I'm just saying, I've seen it happen. You can change it. But that's up to you. You can just sit around and doom scroll, play video games, and eat your jelly donuts. and wonder why girls don't talk to you. We can get out there in the real world and actually talk to real girls. When I was at my high school reunion, not one person was on their phone. We were there for 2-3 hours. Not one person was on their phone. We were all talking to each other. Yes! Talking to each other. Imagine that. It's hard to say au revoir, so au gratin. I really do have to cut this off. I know I've said it before. I keep saying it and I never do it. But it's hard to say au revoir, so au gratin. Yeah, I'm going to have to end this. I really do. We're up to 45 minutes. The clock is ticking. This video went on way longer than it should have. I can't help myself. I enjoy doing this. I would do it with only 1 subscriber. I hope it doesn't get down to that, really. But guess what? Everybody knows what this is. Because I have to say au gratin. It's hard to say au revoir. So au gratin. That's my outro. So I'm getting ready to push that button. This is filmed on an iPad Pro. It's coming for that button. No, no! It's only you. Just back for me, babe. It's only you. Don't need a damn way. It's only you. Don't need a damn. It's only you. It's really good, I promise you.